Infernal watchdog Cerberus regards the underworld prince with mixed emotions, from purest joy to deepest melancholy.
You watch over things for me, won't you, boy? You know I'd take you if I could. There's a good boy. How you holding up, boy? Eating well lately? All three mouths full and happy?
Each terrifying maw of the infernal watchdog Cerberus responds affirmatively, one after the next, as if to reassure the ever-doubting prince.
You don't like it when I pet your other heads, huh? No. You've always been there for me, boy. How's everything been going lately, boy? What's the good word?
The underworld prince's casual inquiry serves but to frustrate the infernal hound, as none of his three heads possess the gift and curse of speech.
Look what I got for you, boy.
As one of Cerberus's heads receives the prince's gift, another muzzles something back into his hand.
Thank you, boy. Hey, boy, just me again. Here to report it's pretty dangerous out there, even without you on guard duty all the time.
The venerable Hound of Hell barely acknowledges the softly spoken prince's platitude, knowing full well the underworld is not as vigilantly guarded as in ages past.
You are the best, you know that, don't you, boy? Oh no, not this.
The multi-headed Cerberus stands vigilant before the underworld's entryway. The tales of what happens to those foolish enough to attempt to pass are far too graphic to describe.
So it's really come to this, boy. After everything we've been through. Well then, this is how it has to be. There's nothing left to say. Except for, on your guard. No, but seriously, boy. I know why you're here. There has to be a way to make you look the other way. What if I help you with the satyr problem? Would you let me go? Please. I have to find Persephone. My mother. You know what this means to me.
After a moment's hesitation and deliberation, the voracious Hound of Hell barks once, affirmatively toward the prince, who sets off in search of something that can sate the monster's appetites.
Good. Now I just need to head off the beaten path here and see what I can find. All right, boy, I got your favorite treat. But you have to promise to let me pass if I hand it over, okay?
Terrifying Cerberus accepts the fetid sack and scans the darkened hall for where best to consume the stomach-turning contents.
I owe you one, boy. You keep an eye on Father for me, boy. Don't let him sour up everyone's mood.
Cerberus promises to do exactly that, in his own way. Cerberus again accepts the sack.
Bye for now, boy. Hey, good to see you back here, boy. I'm glad you're back on guard duty. Even if it means having to find a way past you. You know you're just doing your job.
The fear-inducing hellhound eyes the underworld prince uneasily, his 6 ferocious eyes, each glistening within the dim light of the house.
See you, boy. How's my favorite boy doing, huh?
gigantic Cerberus accepts the prince's foul offering.
Thanks, boy.
Joyfully, the Hound of Hell accepts another satyr sack.
See you, boy. Guess what, boy? Made it all the way to Asphodel last time. I fully understand how come you never liked it there. Now to trek on back, I guess. Take care.
Despite the Underworld Prince's optimism, his old companion Cerberus, the multi-headed hound, maintains a somewhat sulky attitude for now.
Because of you.
Not everybody knows exactly how to give you pets and live to tell of it, right, boy?
Permit the dog his rest.
Each savage maw of Cerberus salivates in anticipation of the next time to feed.
Well, see you around.
Each violent countenance of Cerberus agrees the satyr sack must be destroyed.
I can go. You're my good boy, yes you are. I found her, boy. My mother. Persephone, you remember her, don't you? She was pleased to hear about you. But I couldn't stay for long, and I have to find her again. So, guess I'll see you at the temple then.
The ghoulish features of the much reviled Hound of Hell all soften instantly upon the mention of a certain name. Briefly then, the monster is at peace.
Here, boy. Just as long as one of your three heads enjoys these pets.
All three of Cerberus the Watchdog's terrifying countenances greet the prince. Fang-bearing Cerberus directs all three of its attentions toward the satyr sack.
I can go. Circumstances call for more pets. Hey, did you see, boy? The old lounge is good as new again. You ought to check it out. Just don't annihilate it like you did last time.
Each savage countenance of Cerberus lights up to hear the news, doubtless beginning to assemble stratagems for ravaging the lounging area once more. The prince persuades the underworld's ferocious guardian to move aside.
See you, boy. I mean, old father's nice to you at least, isn't he, boy? I hope I haven't been inconveniencing you too much with all the visits to the temple lately, boy. Say, how do you get back? Charon giving you a lift?
Thus asks the prince his question of the guardian of the gates of hell, knowing full well the multi-headed monster keeps a wide berth of the river boatman, as do all with any sense.
Just kidding, boy. Always feel better talking to you, boy.
Cerberus makes no attempt to move.
Take care, boy.
Cerberus moves for no one, but for satyr sacks, he can make an exception.
Bye for now, boy.
You.
Always have more pets for the greatest boy.
Do not let him manipulate you, Cerberus.
Each savage maw of Cerberus salivates in anticipation of the next time to feed.
Why, I can scarce believe my eyes. Is that you, boy? Cerberus, look who it is. He's back.
Cerberus looks mournfully toward the prince.
No need to drag the dog into this, father.
Anything you say to me, you say in front of Cerberus. You might even learn a thing or two from him of listening and of obedience.
The prince compels the multi-headed hound to let him pass.
Thank you, boy. Who's the best three-headed boy?
The many-headed Cerberus is busy thinking of his next savory meal.
More pets? More pets.
Cerberus looks mournfully toward the prince. Prince Zagreus once more offers to Cerberus one of his favored sacks.
Thanks, boy. You like it when you get pets like this, don't you, boy?
The dog has enough troubles of his own.
The triple-headed monster Cerberus is dutifully sitting there as ever. The prince compels the multi-headed hound to let him pass.
I owe you one, boy. Well, look at you, boy. Never seen you quite so perky, relatively speaking, of course. Big, tough guy like yourself. You must have missed Mother just as much as she missed you. Well, you've got plenty of time for catching up on things now.
The monstrous triple-headed beast of Hades would perhaps be overcome with pure emotion by the joyous circumstances, were he only capable of this.
How dare you, sir?
The monster's solitary weakness, satyr sacs, proved terribly effective once again.
I owe you one, boy. Bet you're happy to see Mother home again, huh, boy? Only wish you could have told me about her before.
The hell-born monster Cerberus contentedly ignores the prince's callous, inconsiderate remark.
Hey! Circumstances call for more pets. More pets? More pets.
Notoriously vicious Cerberus is watching quietly his master's court.
Well, take care. I mean, old father's nice to you at least, isn't he, boy?
Oh, please.
Cerberus is preoccupied with scratching and biting at himself. Thus has the prince again persuaded fearsome Cerberus to get out of his way.
Thank you, boy.
The guardian of hell itself decides the time has come for a short break and snack.
See you, boy. Here, boy. Just as long as one of your three heads enjoys these pets.
Cerberus is busily considering upon what else to gnaw.
Be good, boy.
Oh, Cerberus. Doubtless you deserve the biggest thanks that this house still stands, don't you? Did you enjoy the treat I brought you from the surface?
The surface treat devouring hound of hell provides the Queen a most decidedly affirmative response.
I thought you might. You wouldn't know it wasn't made of meat, I'll bet. I'll see if we can't grow you plenty more.
Fang-bearing Cerberus directs all three of his attentions toward the satyr sack.
Thanks, boy.
The monster's solitary weakness, satyr sacks, proved terribly effective once again.
Thank you, boy. Who's the best three-headed boy?
Cerberus cannot be bothered at this time. The hound of hell rests peacefully upon his favored spot.
You don't like it when I pet your other heads, huh? No. You're my good boy, yes you are.
Cease bothering the dog.
The ever-faithful Cerberus remains resting steadfastly in his spot.
Bye for now. There's a good boy. Thought you'd like that.
Cerberus is overjoyed to have received such a delicious treat. Fang-bearing Cerberus directs all three of his attentions toward the satyr sack.
Bye for now, boy.
Cerberus acknowledges the prince with an affection tempered well with time.
Goodbye for now. Only the very best treats for my best friend, right, boy?
Cerberus yelps in merriment upon receiving such a generous offering.
It is my humble duty to oblige my favorite boy with all the treats as I am able to procure.
Knowing the watchdog's never-ending appetite for treats, the prince obliges him.
More pets are certainly in order here. If I don't pet your other heads, don't bite my arm off. Deal? You like this stuff, don't you, boy? Well, good, because I like sneaking it over to you.
The delectable taste of nectar is enough to briefly sate even the ferocious appetite of the hound of hell. Terrifying Cerberus is busy gathering his strength for when next he shall bar the prince's path.
See you, boy. This nectar not fancy enough for you, boy, is that it? You've developed quite the delicate palate at your distinguished age.
Though having little appetite remaining for the lightness of nectar's flavor, the multi-headed monster of the underworld nevertheless accepts.
You don't let anybody in or out of this place, do you, boy? You know, after dying in some wretched manner, giving pets to my good boy sure helps me get back on my feet. Thanks for being here for me.
The burning embers in the eyes of monstrous Cerberus, notorious hound of hell, reveal that he too is amenable to the pets of which the underworld prince speaks, and in fact is deeply grateful for the quantity of them.
Speaking of which,
After deliberating briefly, Cerberus concludes that yes, he shall accept the sack.
see you, boy.
The many-headed Cerberus is busy thinking of his next savory meal.
Bye. That's right, boy. Ambrosia just for you. You're going to love it. Pretty much every creature, living or dead, does.
The 6 eyes of the hideous Hound of Hell go wide at once from having received the exquisite gift of rare Olympian ambrosia. The creature is rather beside himself.
You're such a good boy, aren't you, Cerberus? Yes, you are. Guarded the place while I was out, and even let my son come visit me.
The ever-vigilant and terrifying Cerberus merely accepts the praise. The fearsome Cerberus accepts the satyr sack.
Thank you, boy. Hits the spot, doesn't it, boy? I know you're caught up in the middle of all this and having to weigh your loyalties more than you'd like. I'm sorry we're putting you through this.
The underworld prince's next attempt to bribe the monstrous triple-headed hellhound into further liking him proves once again successful, as the kingly gift of heavenly ambrosia is beyond compare.
You had enough to eat lately, haven't you, boy?
Cerberus is comfortably at rest, observing all.
Cerberus, not to get all sentimental on you, but... Oh, who am I kidding? Look, you've been with me my entire life. I know you're here at home partly because of me, aren't you?
The bond between a hound and its master is as hard as adamant. Cerberus, the fearsome monster born of hell and guardian of its gates, answers firstly to the prince's father. But it turns out, the prince may be the next best thing.
You're the best boy in the whole world. Even if heads Beta and Gamma don't much care for pets, do they? I've got more than enough lined up for you, though. Count on it. If I don't pet your other heads, don't bite my arm off. Deal?
Permit the dog his rest.
Cerberus acknowledges the prince with an affection tempered well with time. Cerberus is preoccupied with scratching and biting at himself.
Cheers.
The ever-faithful Cerberus remains resting steadfastly in his spot. Cerberus is busily considering upon what else to gnaw. The Hound of Hell barely regards the prince, having been sated for the time.
Now, Cerberus.
The hellish watchdog snarls at the listless shades crowding about the court. The monster's solitary weakness, satyr sacks, proved terribly effective once again.
I owe you one, boy.
Cerberus looks mournfully toward the prince. The fearsome Cerberus accepts the satyr sack.
Thank you, boy.
covered at this time. Vigilant Cerberus decides to look the other way this once.
See you, boy.
Cerberus lies as ever at the foot of his Lord Master's throne.
Cerberus?
Terrifying Cerberus is busy gathering his strength for when next he shall bar the prince's path.
Till next time.
Cerberus!
No treat!
The much-feared Cerberus licks endlessly at something on the floor. Cerberus again accepts the sack.
I owe you one, boy.
The vicious, triple-headed Cerberus shows some restraint for now.
I mean, good boy.
Cerberus is uninterested in conversing at this time.
Cerberus!
We're all very proud of you, boy. You were so well behaved at the feast. I was worried sick one uncle or the other was going to set you off at some point, but you were patience incarnate. Thanks for helping show our extended family a good time.
How infernal Cerberus, the Hound of Hell, managed to maintain civilized behavior throughout the duration of the recent feast remains a mystery to all who attended. The fearsome Cerberus accepts the satyr sack.
Thanks, boy.
Each savage maw of Cerberus salivates in anticipation of the next time to feed. The prince compels the multi-headed hound to let him pass.
I can go.
The many-headed Cerberus is busy thinking of his next savory meal.
Well, see you.
Cerberus again accepts the sack.
Bye for now, boy.
The watchdog Cerberus observes the prince. After deliberating briefly, Cerberus concludes that yes, he shall accept the sack.
Thank you, boy. I made it.
Cerberus?
Don't kill me, boy!
The Hound of Hell barely regards the prince, having been sated for the time.
See you. More pets? More pets.
Cerberus again accepts the sack.
I owe you one, boy. Be right with you, father.
Notoriously vicious Cerberus is watching quietly his master's court.
Bye for now.
Cerberus!
You don't have to do this, boy.
Cerberus lies as ever at the foot of his Lord Master's throne. Cerberus is comfortably at rest, observing all.
Take care, boy.
Cerberus acknowledges the prince with an affection tempered well with time.
See you, boy.
Cerberus makes no attempt to move. Cerberus is busily considering upon what else to gnaw.